Hello and welcome to another SGR video review. I know it's crazy, like 2 reviews within 2 weeks, but got Fallout 4 done, and it didn't really take long to do this one because it's really damn good. But yes, I am reviewing the Street Fighter V guide. And, as Carrie pointed out, we got the collector's edition. This is pretty awesome. I kind of wish that it hadn't been matted already, but hey, whatever. And you got a nice little Capcom. So I'll probably be framing this at some point next week because I am on the road this week. Anyway, on to this. So the cover is just gorgeous, and even in the back, you got the nice logo right there. Very nice big print. Very nice indexed. Each color represents a different character. So yeah, makes navigation pretty easy. This also came with a code for the e-guide. So definitely recommend getting that too, because that's going to be a big help later on down the road. So let's get into this. The first part you'll notice is that the introduction section, just how to play, getting the basic mechanics, is 45 pages long. Now, if you're new to Street Fighter, this is definitely going to come in handy. The other big advantage of this is that they go through a lot of terminology, all the various phrases like frame trapping, V triggers, V counters, all that. And if you watch Street Fighter due to all the tournaments that's going on, like at Winter Brawl, if you're planning on watching the final round in a couple weeks, this is going to help you out. It's going to give you a lot of that information. So that way, when they tell you, start whipping out these terms like it's a 5-frame advantage, a 1-frame loss. This will get you in the know. Besides covering all the basics, like here's punch, kick, here's the advantages of that, here's how you set up your controller, all that. But then the game, or the guide, goes into all the characters. And what I really enjoyed as far as this was that there's a little bio section, and I bookmarked Ken's because his was actually really long. But it just lets you know, like every time that Ken has appeared in a Street Fighter game, this lets you know where it was when he debuted. So, Street Fighter 1 in 1987 was his very first appearance. The other nice little handy thing is, they give you the little data here, letting you know his kind of fighting style, the 2 costumes that he has available, gives you some data down here, gives you, the vitals, plus a nice little cover art right there. But it goes on to be so much more than just that. This guide is just cram-packed with information. Here you got all the, the vitals on what's going on here. Here's how you're executing it, what you want to do, when you'd want to use it, that kind of thing. But also really they just kind of drop these in every so often, just a nice little bit of artwork kind of going through. But it also, as you get into further moves, it kind of gives you almost a, I wouldn't say a frame-by-frame breakdown, but it does kind of give you some visual as to what the moves are actually looking like. So that way, when they're talking about if you're going to start linking things, then you have to be frame perfect. That's kind of, it's very, very handy in that aspect. But what I also really liked was, here you have the overview, some pros and cons, lets you know kind of what their fighting style is like. But this right here, for new players, or even old season players, because Street Fighter V really changed up a lot. This right here is just crazy amount of good information. It gives you all kinds of good stuff, like how to play your character at the long range, how to handle the mid, and how to handle it close. So this, every character has it, and they're usually about 2 to 3 pages long. So here you can kind of see it's finishing off. But then you start getting, after you've learned how to kind of handle all it, they give you nice little combos. So the one thing I will note is that they give you damages, how much the damage is going to do. I would take that with a grain of salt, because we all know patches are going to be coming out, they're going to be doing some balances. So wouldn't really pay attention to how much the damage does and the stun rating, because it's, you got the little stun bar up on the top of the screen now. Because this is more than likely, and the combo itself probably won't change, but the numbers behind this are probably going to change at some point. So right now it's pretty solid. In 6 months, probably not so much. But, and like I said, just so much good information, so many details. they give you nice things like it's a 23 frame startup, it's active for 3 frames, it's a 24 frame recovery, guard it at high, on hit it's +1 frame, on guard is -4. So any of that kind of frame data information that you could possibly need, all right here. Again, going to be changing maybe a little bit as they kind of tweak it here and there, but for right now, this is just so solid. It's so good. As we keep on going along, here they give you, we're already past all the characters now, so now we're towards the back. They kind of give you some online matchups, some tips and tricks as to how to counter pick if you're, if you're going to fight Ken, who do you play against Ken, who's got better chances, who has less chances. So, I mean, it's a solid 438 to 4. It's like 10 pages long, just kind of giving the details. And at the very back, they wrap it up with some nice art. So it's great because you can kind of see all the concepts, what went into it, what they were thinking. Get some nice little blurbs over here, letting you know what's going on. So one advantage to this is that it also comes with the e-guide, and I recommend getting that because the e-guide is going to be updated. So the numbers that are in print here, as they get changed, they'll probably change that in the e-guide. Prima Games also has a frame data app. It's like $3, I think, and that is also well worth it. Overall, Prima Games, you guys knocked it out of the park on this one. This was so good. Just the abundance of in-depth details that you guys went to on the characters, some of the strategies, the combos. I mean, you can spend, like I did, I spent probably 20 hours just going through various characters in the training lab, or in the lab as I call it online, just working on combos, trying to figure it out, setting up NPCs to do different things so I could test out how how's highs and lows and mids and close and all that. But yeah, Prima Games, you guys rocked it on this one. Your companion app is also great, and yeah, so e-guide, because story mode's gonna be coming out eventually, who knows when, but hey, Prima Games will probably eventually, in the e-guide, kind of help you out with that. Anyway, to wrap this up, the Street Fighter V strategy guide from Prima Games gets a 4.5 out of 5. So there you go, you got it. And with that, we'd like to remind you, don't be a dick on the internet. With that, I'm out. Peace.